Do you understand what is a defect or a bug? Again, it's a step that you omitted in your algorithm, and that resulted in an error, a type of issue in your output or input, whatever you did in any step. Okay, cool. So far we have learned about algorithm, where we are talking about writing it in steps and all, but still it is very text based. When I say text based, is you wrote step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, step number 4, and so on. I'll do this. There should be a better way to represent your algorithm so that it's easy to understand. Somebody can, if you hand it over to somebody, he doesn't have to write so many lengthy pages or paragraphs and all of this. So people in computer world, and it is the algorithm is not specific to Python. You do the same thing in Java, same thing in Python, same thing in any programming language for that matter. Similarly, when you talk about the algorithm can be graphically represented in a more readable manner, and it's called flowchart. So flowchart is basically a technique to write algorithm in a pictorial manner. Like create a picture. You know how people say a picture says 1,000 words. So the flowchart says 1,000 words about your algorithm. Basically, you're doing the same thing, but rather than writing text, you are actually creating a flowchart. You are visually presenting your steps. And how do we do the flowchart? That we always create what we call it is, we use different shapes to designate or denote the purpose or meaning of it. For example, an oval is used for start and stop. Okay, start or stop. And every flowchart starts and stops. So this is your start, this is your stop, and you use connecting lines to connect that from start. This is how you finish it. Of course, this flowchart is not doing anything because it's starting and stopping, and there is no instruction in between. So it is not meaningful. I'm going to remove this I want to show you the line, the arrow you use to connect the steps. So the first thing is you always start, and you must always start a flowchart with an oval that says start and one oval that says end. Okay. Now the in between, you write your instructions. You use a parallelogram to accept input or show output. So this is for your input and output. And this is fun actually. When you draw it, you solve a problem in steps, and using a flowchart, you'll see that that you have got good brain. You're able to solve a problem. It's sort of a not really puzzle, but you will feel like that you're solving a problem, and then once you draw a flowchart, you can see your algorithm clearly. Then you're ready to translate into a code. And then next step we'll learn is how to convert this flowchart into code. And we'll go one by one, and then we'll learn more commands in the Python and all. Okay. So to draw input or output, how do you, suppose I'm receiving an age from a user, I'll say read age. This is how you write it when you're reading the age. Suppose I want to print saying accepted, for vaccination. I'll say write accepted. And if you put a message in the single quote or double quote, whatever you like. Okay. So this is for reading. This is for input, and same shape, a parallelogram for output also. Okay. Next one is all your processing statements are in a rectangle. So suppose you want to divide, a number and calculate the remainder. So say remainder, and you use a left arrow like this, and you are saying number divided by 2. So basically you are saying I'll take the number, divide by 2, and whatever is the result, I'll store it in R, and R is for remainder. And then you want to check if R is equal to 0 or not. You want to use a diamond, and you want to say R equal to 0, right? Yes or no, like this. So at a high level, we talked about start and stop. Both are oval. Input and output both are parallelogram. Rectangle is for all your processing, right? This diamond is for question or decision. And then suppose you want to repeat it, then you want to go back from this step to this step, and you go like this and connect it here. And each of these steps are connected like this. So you always flow from top to bottom. And if you want to repeat, you go back up one step and say, okay, repeat, and say 5 times. So this will go in the loop for 5 times and then exit. And we'll talk more about it. So you don't have to remember. For now, just remember the purpose of the shape and how to draw a basic flowchart. Okay. So we'll take an example of, we'll take 2 examples, and we have already seen the algorithm, right? So we'll take an example and we say, I want to calculate the average of 3 numbers. What do? We start with what we call it again, start, then an arrow, and we say input. And our input is read and read num1. I can give all take 3 inputs comma separated, but I'm going to put it separate. Then I'm going to read second number and say read num2. And just using the num2, just a name, I can put anything, number 2 or n2, n1, and all that part. And say read and say num3. So now I got all 3 numbers. Next, I'm going to do the processing, and I'll use one variable here, and we say let's add numbers and say sum num1 plus num2 plus num3. Then of course arrow. Then I'm going to do one more processing, which is a rectangle, and I will say average, avg, average, arrow mark like this, and say sum divided by 3. So in the previous step, I calculated sum. Next step, I am calculating by dividing by 3, I'm calculating the average. And then I want to print it. So I will put a parallelogram and I say write, or you can also say print, write AVG, because AVGs are going to be output. So I'm printing the output here, and then oval and say close. Of course, all these are arrows. So rather than writing the text, I'm using a visual representation of my algorithm, much easier to read and understand and follow along. You can see read number 1, number 2, number 3, calculate the sum, the average, which is sum divided by 3, calculate the average, and then finally close it.